Good evening, everyone. This is an exciting Thursday. I think we are quite excited to host everyone this evening. And as already introduced on the video, my name is Thabiso Moitoi, and I am very excited to be facilitating this evening's topic, which is regarding sales. I think um, one thing that I like about the topic is just when it said learn to sell, because I think a couple of us are struggling, or rather want to sell things, or we are looking into businesses and wanting to sell. But the biggest problem is how do we do that? And this evening we've got Nando Masego, who is going to take us through the things that we can be able to use or skills that we require or can help us in learning how to sell. I think as a sales manager, I'm also quite interested in listening to the session, and I hope everyone is as excited as I am. I think on the chat box, if you can just tell us where you're watching from. I think that will keep us just active. Just you can just type your name and just tell us where you are watching.
Well done.
Sorry, I got muted there. Once again, good evening to everyone. And as introduced, my name is Thabiso. I am just a bit about myself. I, okay, so, sorry about that. Hi, Zintle in Durban. Welcome. So as I said, my name is Thabiso, and I am a manager, membership and sales manager at the Institute of Internal Auditors South Africa. Currently look after the Institute membership and the sales aspect of it. And I think that's what excites me with being in this webinar is the sales part of it. And I think I've spent a couple of days just watching at a couple of conversation and webinars that I've seen Dando host, and I'm quite very interested in watching this. I see Rito from Kagiso. I see a couple of people from Soweto. I'm from Soweto also. I grew up right in Soweto, So yeah, big ups to the Soweto people attending. I really hope we're gonna have a jam-packed session, and we're all gonna take something. Dando, just before as you open up, I think one of the attendees WhatsApp me. I hope she will be attending. Um, she sent me a message on the side and said she's really excited about attending because she wants to be a millionaire. So I don't know if you can take it there in the time that you have with us. With that said, I also just want to just acknowledge our sponsor, Old Mutual, and most importantly, the people that are hosting us tonight is Ozarchia, which is a company that is owned by Masego, and it offers the following, which is coaching, personalized soft skills training, Power BI training, and dashboard designs. That is the company that is hosting us this evening, Ozarchia, which is run by a very beautiful lady who's really doing the most out there. And I hope even after this session, we can engage more with her in getting these soft skills training, coaching, as well as the Power BI training and the dashboard designs offered by the organization. Without any waste of time, I think I'll go straight into it, which is introducing our very first speaker. His name is said is Nando Masego. And I'm gonna just take us through his bio, so which is not exactly who we have today. And yeah, I'm gonna take you through his bio. So for those that don't know who Dando is an accomplished host of the rapidly growing Mindset Profits podcast, podcast where he provides entrepreneurs with valuable insights and strategies to achieve their goals. As the author of Financial Freedom for All and the newly published book When Poverty Knocks, 29 Things You May Be Doing to Open the Door. Dando brings a wealth of knowledge and practical guidance to those seeking financial independence and to those and business successes. With over 15 years of experience in coaching, entrepreneurship, he specializes in sales and growth strategies with a strong focus on self-mastery in addition to his podcast and books. Dando is a respected radio show host, offering his expertise to a broader audience. He holds an MBA and is currently pursuing a PhD in organizational leadership, demonstrating his ongoing commitment to the empowering entrepreneurship to excel their ventures. But just before we get Nando to go on, I am just going to get us to do a bit of a game. So on the link we have on our chat box there's a link, and on the chat box there there's a game that I would like us to play, just as Ntando prepares himself. It's the link there would ask you how many moons does Jupiter have, and there's three answers there. So if you can just all click on the link and try just get us the answer. There is, I think the right one will get a prize. There is a prize, which is a book, but we're just going to get that right at the end with the prize thing. So if you can go on, click on the link and just answer the question, how many moons does Jupiter have? There is 195. So let's see, the votes are coming in. I see two people saying one. I'm getting 1 on 100. I actually don't know. Jupiter, moons. Yeah, this took me back to school. Jupiter is okay. Okay, I'm getting a number there. Sipogazi went on and just went in. He said 95. Sipogazi, you're probably up to something. But there's a link there. Let's see which one goes. Jupiter is only one moon. Okay. I think the votes are going with one. I'm just going to get the answer in a couple of seconds. Okay, 95 just went a bit up. So this is the thing. There's a 95 going up. Just let's use the link that is on the chat box. Oh, shucks. 1 is going down, 7 is going up. I was hoping 1 because I think, yeah, I thought it's 1. Why is it 90? Okay, 1 is going down. Someone just said 90. Interesting. Precious went and said it's not 95, it's not 100, it's not 1, but it's 90. Precious is one of those people that says, I will go my way. Maybe it's 90. Are we going to get the answer?
The correct answer is 95.
You're muted.
You're still muted. We can't hear your beautiful voice, Thabiso.
I was actually trying to mute someone, so I think I muted myself. But I was just trying to mute someone. I think when people jump on the call, their mics are on. So to all those, that's a 95. Absolutely, the correct answer is 95. I won't share my answer because I thought it was a 1. So yeah, I honestly thought it was 1. But to those that participated, thank you very much for playing our game. And yes, the correct answer is 95. I think that was just our icebreaker. Ntando must be ready. Ntando, your mic is on. Are you ready?
I hope so.
Okay, let's go. So a round of online claps for the speaker of the day, Nando Masego. Over to you.
I didn't hear the round of applause though, so I'm not feeling the love.
The claps there. The claps are
yes, I see Amo has rescued everyone with a clap on the chat. A very good evening. I love this one. Teach me this trick. I need it. I will flex with it. All right. No, thank you. Thank you, guys. I think this is a really important. Oh, yeah. Thank you. This is a really important session. I was saying to the guys, someone is unmuted. I was saying to the guys, I am as low tech as they come. I have about 20 minutes to share with you some experiences and some hacks around sales that will help you just learn how to sell. Most of you know how to sell. So I guess this session is more to give you a framework that you can use to see where you need to improve. My experience with sales as a coach, besides just coaching entrepreneurs to sell, to market, to improve their processes, I learned sales in a franchise where we were taught how to sell. We were selling pies at one branch, and I remember we were just doing well with the one branch. We thought, let's get another branch. We got 2 branches into 3 branches, franchise branches. And I always say that was my main business at the time. And we were selling and we were teaching our people how to sell, how to talk to customers, how to sell when we take what we're selling out and sell outside. But the distinction for me came when I looked at how that business was performing and I started coaching, and the money that I was making with coaching was so much more than what I was getting from the 3 branches. And so the maths was not mathing anymore. And I thought this side hustle called coaching just has to become my main hustle. And since then, that's what I've been doing. I work with incubators and accelerators. I am an author, as you heard. So because the time is not a lot, I'm not going to take a lot of time getting into my bio, but I'll just get into sales. I'm not going to share any slides, so I guess you will take notes. When it comes to sales, I want you to think about, actually, when it comes to anything that you do, the first thing that you really want to know and understand is the why. Why is this important? Why is it important for me to master it? Why is it important for me to learn about it? Why am I doing it, right? I've seen a lot of times entrepreneurs start this business that they love, they're passionate about the business, they have a product, the product is amazing, but no one is buying. I was talking to someone who was saying, I've been running my business for the past 5 years like a dirty little secret. It's no one knows about it. No one knows I exist. So that is the experience of a lot of entrepreneurs. And that is not the experience that I want for anyone that's joining today, where you've got a good product. The product can stand up, can stand its own against competition, but no one is buying it. And you don't even know where to start to fix, right? Now, sales, the way I look at it, is the lifestyle of your business. It's the lifeblood of your business. If you don't know how to sell, your business is going to struggle for revenue and your business is going to struggle for sustainability. A lot of entrepreneurs out there are struggling. Since COVID, I think the numbers have just gone up even more because the mindset that is set in for many is that people don't have money. Everyone is losing their jobs. Unemployment is high. We can't increase our prices. And so we just can't sell. So now it comes to this session today, where we are saying, let's learn how to sell. Let's learn how to sell more than what you're selling right now. In fact, for some, maybe you're joining because you have a side hustle or you're joining the session because you want to get into business. Others, you are already in business, but you're not selling. Customers are coming, but you, for some reason, when they're in front of you and they ask how much, and you say it's 200 Rand, you get that reaction. That says it's way too much than I thought. So I'm here to hook you up. I want you to remember 3 things. So if you're writing down, write down these 3. That is the framework. The simplest way I will give you something that you can use to, after this workshop, always know how to find an area for yourself to improve. Number 1 is mindset. Number 2, skill set. Number 3, tool set. mindset, skill set, tool set. These are just the three things I'll speak to. And for a sales professional, this applies to anything that you want to succeed in life, actually. When it comes to business, there's a mindset that works. There's a way of thinking, beliefs that you can adopt that will help you grow as an entrepreneur, right? That is mindset in summary. It's one of my favorite words. That's why the podcast is called Mindset and Profit. There's no end though. Mindset, profit. Mindset is powerful. I lost my business and got depressed for about 5 years and lost everything. House, car, I lost everything. Found myself sharing an RTP house somewhere. And I won't say where. But during that phase, what really rescued me to be the coach, to be another entrepreneur with the franchise that I was talking about earlier, what launched me was going to stay with a pastor. And don't worry, it's not one of those stories. There was no oil poured on me. I didn't eat grass. There's no snakes in this story. But I got to stay with someone who just gave me an opportunity to live with him for about a month. And living with someone who's doing well, who's wealthy, who's a pastor, he wasn't coming and saying, let me pray for you. I need to cast something. The spirits that are chasing you. There wasn't anything like that. But he was having conversations with me that provoked me, conversations that challenged me really to the core, because I was thinking I had lost so much money in the 7 figures, and I had lost so much of myself in almost 5 years of depression, just watching my life decline. I lost confidence in myself, and I had no idea how to pick myself up, how to pick anything and sell it, right? But this man was asking me what my dreams are. And I'm sitting and thinking, Yazi, I can see you have money, né? But these questions, just give me 10,000, yeah, and I'm going to make a plan. And I'm sure someone will relate. You've been there too. But this guy kept asking me these things. And one thing that he said was, go to the library room. He had a room full of books. And every time I would go pick up a book, he would come back from work, we would talk about the book, and I would be blown away by the fact that he knows the stuff that's in his books and in the library. So this guy was reading. And I thought, maybe there's a trick here. I'm missing something. I need to get to these books. I need to read them as well and just see what happens, right? And some of the questions that he was asking, I'll give you 2 questions he asked me. Maybe this will help someone as well. Maybe you find yourself in a dark spot and you really want to work your way out of it. He said, you lost your money, you lost your business, but you never ever lost your skills. You never lost your qualifications. Why has in all these years, why haven't you used what you had? The networks, the people you knew, the qualifications you had, what you were using to make that money, why didn't you use it till now to start over? And then I realized that depression does that, right? You can forget that you've got stuff. You've got people that you know. You've got books that some people gave you books you've never read. You've got things around you that you could use to just get started. So I got to see that the mindset shift from staying with him and just thinking differently and thinking, you know what, it's not too late to start over. I got to stand and say in one room of about 500 people in a conference, I got to stand and say what a difference 10 years can make. Because 10 years ago, I was broke. I was depressed. I was distressed. I was in debt. I got divorced. And all the dangerous deeds that you can think of. And there are many. I was all of them. But the statement was not ending there. What I was saying next was 10 years later, I'm the guy on a stage who's written the book that you called me to speak about, and here to teach you about how you can work your way out of that kind of rut to where I am now. I've learned a few things along the way, which I know will help someone, right? So I hope that helps someone, because I was provoked in that space. I know some people are not in a dark space. You just want to sell. Like someone said, I want to make $1 million. But mindset is everything for me. Number one mindset that I'll give you. There's a couple of teachers that I got to learn from. And when it comes to sales, for me, the best person that really taught me about sales and how to change my mindset was a man, he's late now, called Zig Ziglar. He said a few quotations that I'll give you. The first one was, every no is a step closer to a yes. Every no. So I'm giving you mindset now. We're on number one. So I'll give you maybe 3-4 mindsets. Every no is a step to a yes. Now, when I was listening to that at that time, I was trying to sell. I started a service and I was trying to sell to people. I kept getting no's and it got frustrating. Maybe actually, let me give you even now. When I started this podcast, I recorded a couple of episodes, put them out, and they were getting like 20 views. So to me, it felt like rejection. It felt like no's. I can't spend 2 hours recording this thing. I can't go and then spend 2 hours editing this thing because I suck at editing, so it takes long. So 4-hour investment, and you only get 20 people saying, watching, and maybe 2 people clicking like. That hurt. So 2 months after I started the podcast, I think a month after I posted the first 5 episodes, I took it almost a 2 months break for therapy because, go rough. It feels painful to put so much effort and no one buys. So much effort and no one takes notice, right? But then you remember these mindset hacks that every no is a step closer to a yes. And I talked to another professional who says, you know what, Nando, if I put you in a room right now and there's 20 people and you talk to them, are you going to feel like you wasted your time? My answer was a simple no. Actually, I train in rooms that have 20 people and I have an amazing day, right? So I reframed that, changed my mindset around what 20 views means. I went back. It took me 6 months to get to 1,000 subscribers. And since then, it's taken me 4 months to get 9,000 more subscribers on the podcast, right? Because I went and talked to someone who gave me perspective. I was this close to giving up because I felt, 4 hours, 20 views, the math ain't mathing. I'm not doing this. That's what mindset does. A shift in mindset changes the attitude I had when I went back. It changed. It was the big difference between quitting and starting over with just enthusiasm, right? Another thing that Zig Ziglar says is stop selling, start helping. A lot of the times we struggle. We've got this product and there's a person that you see that actually they need this product. But what blocks you is mentally you think, talking to a stranger, saying hello, selling, that sucks. I hate it when people sell to me, right? And that block stops you from even trying. That mindset shift of just stop selling, start helping. Now you're looking at someone and thinking, I see you're in trouble. Can I help? Right? That attitude, it kills the mental block that gives that resistance in you to say, stop talking to people about your product, right? If you believe your product solves a problem for someone, look at them, ask, how can I help? Right? In your mind, right? You're not going to take water and say, how can I help? But you are talking to a person because you know your project will help them in some way. So be clear about the problem that you're solving for them. And the mindset you're having every time you're talking to someone is, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? The conversation becomes simpler because you start asking questions. Are you using this way? What are your frustrations with other service providers? Now the mindset is, I'm helping. Another thing that he said is, success is the sum of small efforts, small incremental efforts, which means success is just what you're doing, the good stuff that you're doing each and every day, but repeatedly, and you don't stop and you don't quit, which means when it comes to selling, now I'll give you, there's what we call a sales funnel. I won't draw it. I didn't use tech here intentionally because I just want to talk to everybody without slides. But a sales funnel, I'll give you a picture in this way. I have a service, let's say a coaching service, and I go and tell 1,000 people about the service. I've talked to 1,000 people, right? And these 1,000, not everyone is going to be interested. I think that's the one thing you have to just face when it comes to sales. Not everyone is going to like you. Get good with that. Get comfortable. You'll never, ever please anyone, everyone. No one, even Jesus, couldn't do that, right? So get comfortable with that part. Now, 1,000 people get the message. You are going to have like 600, 500 that actually listen and are interested. 600, okay, are interested. Now, from those that are interested, you're probably going to get another 100 that buy. Now, which means you talked to 1,000, 600 were interested. The interested one was saying, I'll check it again. I'll talk to someone, send me an email, send me a proposal. That's interest in some way, right? But 1,000 vote with their wallets and say, we like it here, is our money. Now, what many people don't realize is a couple of things there. One is, if I'm going to want to double the money that I make, I need to first look at the 1,000 and say, how do I double that? My leads, right? How do I talk to 2,000 this time? Because I want to double my revenues. I want to increase the money that I have. And when you think that way, you start to realize that maybe I'm not talking to enough people. You didn't make sales this week. Cool. How many people did you talk to? 2. And then you start to realize when you do the numbers, if I talk to 30, I make 1 sale. So it means if I talk to 3 people this week, I'm pretty much guaranteeing myself for failure in advance. So a sales funnel just is a picture that I want you to have that says, how many people do you need to talk to make this number of sales? How does the math work for your business? Second, there's a reason why only 600 or 500 are interested, right? Sometimes your messaging is poor. Sometimes the way you package the product is wrong. Sometimes who you are talking to, you're talking to the wrong people. That's why a lot of them are not interested. So you start to look at, okay, how many people expressed interest? Why? Why is the number so low? And you start to ask those questions that go and help you. Okay, is it the packaging? Especially if you're getting feedback from the customers, is it the packaging? Is it maybe the messaging? Is it the platform that I use to reach out to them? You start to ask these questions and start to experiment in your business to see what works best. The last one is the ones that buy. If the ones that buy are 100 and the price of your service is 1,000, you've made 100,000 that month. Pretty nice month for some. I know others, you're making millions already. You're saying, in Nando, so give us the real stuff. We'll get to you. Anyway, I've even lost track of what I was saying. But yeah, you are 100,000 because you sold 1,000. You sold 80,000 rands to 100 people. Now, another question you need to ask yourself is, why am I selling just a service at 1,000 rands? What can I do to sell at 1.5 at 2,000? Because there's 3 things when it comes to that. There is the cost of what you're selling, there is the price of what you're selling, and there is the value that the customers perceive. Now, if I'm selling water typically sells for 15 rands, let's say 10 rands. I'm selling water for 10 rands. There is what the water cost me to make. Maybe the water cost me 8 rand, and then I'm selling it for 10 rand. But then there is the value that customers perceive. If customers look at my packaging, they look at my branding, they look at me, they listen to me talking and feel like, water from you should be 5 rand. My price is 10 rand. Then there's a problem. Because customers see a value of what you're selling at less than the price that you're charging. Then there's a problem. You will struggle to sell. What sales and marketing do is, if done well, they amplify the value of what you're selling. People understand the value of what you're selling, so that by the time you say 10 rand for my water, they look at you and feel like, only? Why? I thought it was 20. It feels like a great deal because you've done well in your sales and marketing to amplify the value of what you offer. If you don't, customers are fuzzy about what you sell and they will struggle to buy. So You just want a big gap between cost of what you're producing and the price you charge. You want that gap to be nice and wide. The price you charge and the value you customers perceive, you want that gap as well to be nice and wide. So that is mindset. I'll hit you with a couple of mindset hacks. Let me know in the chat. Just type clear so far. So I give you the next two and we wrap this up. Just say clear to people so I know everyone is clear. Right. Toby, thank you. And Busi, right. Good. Good. I can proceed. Someone is unmuted. Please make sure you mute yourself because it can get lit with Zoom. We can hear secrets here. All right. So I talked about mindset and the numbers. The second thing I said I'll give you is skill set. Mindset is just improve your thinking around sales. Understand how top sales professionals think. Go buy books, read books about sales to see how the best of the best think when they go out to sell. So I've given you a couple of examples. I hope that's enough. Skill set in the same way is what do really good salespeople do? Excuse me. I choked on something. What do really good salespeople do? What are they good at? What are their traits? What are their attributes, right? Now, I'll give you 3 examples, and you could probably type in the chat. Think about a top sales professional, someone that you really respect when it comes to sales, and ask yourself, what are they good at? What do they do well? Let me know in the chat. Just type in the chat. What are good salespeople good at? What skills do they have? What traits do they have? And sometimes we don't ask ourselves this. You get into your business, you've got a product, you're always selling, but you're winging it. You're doing it on intuition. You never pause to think that what will it take for me to succeed? What will it take for me to do well in this profession? They look good, which is great. They do look, it's important. Someone says, someone looks good, smells good, and that also means the opposite is true. Poverty has a look, poverty has a smell. Sometimes they look at you and they can see that this one is desperate. More, you want 100, I can get 20, right? Powerful. They are consistent. They persevere, negotiation skills. All of you are coming up with some really great insights on this. And that's what I want to see. Because there's wisdom in the room as well. So another thing I want you to remember there, one thing great salespeople do, they are amazing at learning. They don't say, I know enough. They just keep learning how to do this thing better. So here's a couple of things that I have for you on top of the list that you're having. That's a great list, by the way. So thanks for the contribution. Keep it alive. Number 1, they refine their process. It means they have a process. They understand that for me to get 20 clients, this is normally the process that I follow. I post here, I engage this number of times, I book this number of appointments per month. This is my process. So find your process, keep refining it, right? Another thing is they are good at connecting with people. You just talk to people and you connect. You show empathy, you show understanding. Poor salespeople, when they speak, they are not understood, right? Good salespeople, when they speak, they are understood. The great and the great of the greatest, when they speak, the customers feel you understand them. So there's layers to that. And the whole goal is not really about you being understood. It's about the client feeling you understand them. You understand their problem. You understand their needs. So to be amazing at selling, you just want to adopt, again, that skill of communicating so that the customer feels you understand them, they are understood, they are heard, they are listened to. And a third thing that I'll give you is amazing product knowledge, amazing industry knowledge. You're at a level where when you talk, we feel like we're talking to an expert. We're not asking questions and you're going to refer. We feel it. The last two, I would say you are great at handling objections. Emotionally, you've done enough therapy on yourself. When people say no, you can take it. You can ask why. You can ask to talk to them later, and you can handle objections, and you can manage your time. That's the last one. Great sales professionals are amazing at managing their time and prioritizing. Because of the 100 people you have to talk to, you don't have to talk to everyone to make the sale that you want. Because not everyone is going to buy. Not everyone has the money. Not everyone has the authority to make a decision. Not everyone needs your product. So you're going to need to be prioritizing and managing your time and yourself. Then the last thing, I said mindset, skill set, tool set. I'll just run through this in 2 minutes to stop. I wanted to stop by this time, actually. Last one, tool set. You are in 2024. And in 2024, you have access to tools that didn't exist 20 years ago. For me to tell 1,000 people that I've got this amazing product and you will love it, 20 years ago, I probably would have spent 20,000 rands. For me to tell 1,000 people now, you don't even have to spend anything if you're good with social media, right? If you're using WhatsApp Business, you can put something on a status, tell people that for 17 rands, 18 rands, that 1,000 people that, yeah, you've got this amazing thing, come and buy. You are living in an era where there are tools available that help you with your sales. I'll give you a couple of them. Number one, invest in a CRM. CRM is a customer relations management system. I won't get into that. There's no time. Someone is unmuted. Cool. Right. Invest in a CRM, customer relations management system. There's many out there. Zoho and HubSpot are the most popular. But I would encourage you to just go and Google or check on YouTube how CRMs work. They will help you follow up with clients. They will help you build databases with your clients. They will help you bulk email to your clients. They are a powerful resource for sales professionals. You don't have attrition over time if you're using a CRM. The cheapest is like MailChimp that does bulk emails, captures your database. It's free for a database of up to like 2,500 people, if I'm not mistaken. But check on YouTube, find one that you like. Number two, you're living in an era that is AI. There are insights that you get from AI. There are tools that are AI powered. And there is AI as you know it, ChatGPT, Gemini. There's a lot of these AI tools now. Just play around with them, see the ones that you like, and use them. I used to be skeptical with AI until I talked to someone who said, be terrified of your competitor who's going to use AI against you. I thought, I don't want to be the victim in that equation. Let me go learn this thing, right? The next one, next set of tools. So I said AI tools, CRM. The next one is social media. That is one of the most powerful tools for sales professionals. Learning how to connect with people, build relationships, and sell on social media. So these tools are available for you. I think the last set of tools that you can think about is productivity tools. So you go and Google productivity tools for sales professionals. I had a very short time to give you all of this, but I hope I've covered mindset, skill set, tool set. Oh, I see Thabiso was writing. Thank you for those notes. Beautiful. I'm done. Over to you, of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nando. Yeah, I think I could tell that you still had a lot to say. I hope everyone on the other side is really happy. I can see a couple of claps already. Busisiwe is saying thank you. Mbali is giving a bit of claps. So yeah, and I've also been seeing the number of interactions that we're getting throughout. Um, throughout. I think just for me, one point is that you said people in sales need to manage times. I don't know if they can because they will put you on a corner until they get to convince you. So I don't know if the timing part, managing of time will ever work. But yeah, I think you broke down the three important sets, mind, skill, and tools in a very detailed manner. I'm gonna open up for a couple of questions. So I think to all the attendees, if you can just drop a couple of questions, Nando is still around. To answer any questions. I think it's just also one question that popped in is what they answered. Thabiso was asking a full detail or what CRM meant, but she got an answer there. Busisiwe Dube is saying very informative, thank you. So you can also raise your hand if you would like to not rather type your question and rather want to voice it out. You can just raise your hand and we'll unmute you to raise your questions. So we open up for questions. We'll give it at least a couple of minutes for questions to come through. That's why it says typing. I'm still waiting for questions to come through.